Go back to work.
Nothing else from me, buddy.
Maybe we can go.
Actually, that's dangerous, but I give it to her.
You felt like you had time to talk.
You could help.
Yeah, one of the more approachable, understanding.
He said it's about 700. Not all of them have property or live
Ready to-
together.
Okay, we'll, go ahead and call the meeting to order. Like we've got a good group here today. And, did everybody get a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting? Does anybody have any corrections, or I have a motion to accept or to send out?
I move to accept.
Got a motion, I have a second, got a second, Bill, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, so moved. The Secretary Treasurer's report.
It's a really difficult one today, so. The beginning balance on February 22nd was $9,879.28. We had one check for $69.88, gives us a balance today of $9,809.40. The end.
One transaction.
One transaction.
Motion to accept. Thank you for being short. Yeah.
Got a motion, I need a second.
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, so moved. Public comments. Anybody got any comments? Questions? We've got one committee report, I guess, Jimmy Sandler and Phil Barrett, kind of talked to us a little bit about a tractor situation at Phipps Bend.
Yeah, we went up and, met with, is it Joel? I had so much stuff going on, I can't keep up with it. So he's got, the older, tractor, kinda end of life, and, so just to replace it, it's about a $45,000 type expense, but he really, I think, wanted to bump it from a 75 horse up to a 90 or so, just because of the acreage that they're having to maintain. And I think there would, there'd probably be an additional request for some other attachments, bush hog and
Gravel bucket, the one we loaded.
they got a lot of property there to maintain, there are a lot of
Yeah.
holdings.
Yeah, well.
And, I think he pretty much does a lot of it himself.
Yes.
But they're, you know, they've got 3 tractors now, but really only one guy working. So, you know, one of the things you might ask is why do you need 3 tractors if you only got 1 employee? So they're, you know, I think his plan is to keep the equipment sort of configured for different things, and that way he's doing, you know, it's ready to
From
go.
one to the other, it'd be set up.
Instead of having to drop attachments and, you know, because there is quite a risk of injury if you're having to change attachments. Like at my old place, I just got 1 tractor, so when I want to bush hog, I have to, you know, I'm continually changing attachments. So it kind of seemed like it probably don't need $50,000 to $60,000 probably worth.
Yeah, you mentioned some kind of dump trailer to be real helpful to use there, especially keeping the stuff cleaned up like he does. In the shop, he's done a good job cleaning up the shop. It really looks
Oh, yeah,
good.
it looks good.
And there's some surplus equipment there. I mentioned it to Larry. Sort of a couple, walk behind more. I think he said there was something wrong with it, but I can't remember what. But I guess it could go surplus or something. It's just sitting there.
So there's a mower that needs to be surplus? Is
Yeah,
that-
it's called a stand-up walk behind.
Yeah, the walk
You see-
behind.
Yeah, you see a lot of them commercial use,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's Great Dane, the name of it. I don't know
Okay.
if it's still made anymore, but I've seen a lot of them in use, and they were popular. The he's got a couple other zero-turn mowers that he does use, so I just know this one's sitting there, but I'm getting any use out of it.
Okay.
He
Yeah, it's
also-
really in the way. I mean,
Also expressed the need to have a pickup truck, and Holston Electric might be able to help you with that. You know, I'd have to get the board to approve it, but we cycle through pickup trucks from time to time, and because what Joel's having to do is use his own truck, you know, if he needs fertilizer or seed or something like that, or, you know, just
Running errands.
running errands, or maybe going to get parts or things like that, so it might
Yeah.
be, something we could do.
So I guess, we just push that on down the road. It's not something that we wanna, we gotta,
We'll act on it today.
Yeah, because I had gotten, I went up to Cox Tractor in Kingsport and actually had gotten a proposal for a 75-horse tractor, but that doesn't seem like kind of what he's wanting. And so, you know, really need to get a bid on, say a 90 to 100-horse tractor, maybe a new bush hog, like a batwing bush hog with the three, you know, you raise up two sections.
I don't know, would it be possible to trade the tractor in question in on
that's
it?
what I was gonna ask, if there's some way to trade in. or
Well, their
what we
Cox is
do.
interested in taking the trade, but we weren't
You know, a
in
lot
a position to say.
right.
You got the internet these days, if you got somebody that really likes that brand of tractor and they wanna restore it and paint it and make it, you know, look pretty for their hometown parade, it might be something you could get, you know, a little bit more money that way for, but.
We didn't actually see that there's a loader that goes with that tractor. It's been sitting
Yes, that's
outside.
better, good.
It's
The older one.
It don't even really fit that tractor. They just kind of made
Made it
it work
Yeah.
over the years.
I'd say it wasn't with it, we didn't
Right.
get through the weeds and go look at it.
Not been used to years, Mr. Mayor, but good when they get it, but not many times.
Okay.
Keep working on that.
Well, we've got a meeting, to present our budget before the budget committee, April 18th. And so, that will not be in the budget right now, anyway, I don't guess, so. And I know the executive committee met, and we're not asking for any additional monies from the county this year. It's the same budget we had this year, so.
You're one of the few.
It looks like the county's got their hands full with everything else that's going on.
Yep.
That leads me into a meeting that we had this week with the Churchill Fire Chief and the Chief of Police, who's also the Safety Director, I guess, with Churchill, and discussing the number of calls that they're getting and the request of the county to increase from 20,000 to 50,000. And so, I'm not, you know, that's more of an issue for the budget committee than it is for the industrial board.
Well, it could become way more of an issue for the budget committee when other fire departments, if we gave Churchill 30,000 more, other fire departments are gonna want the same thing.
Right. I understand the concern that Mayor Deal has, and I'm sure his board, that the citizens of Churchill doesn't need to be paying for something that's going on that benefits the whole county, and I understand that. But it may be something that maybe the budget committee can work out with them, hopefully. We are aware that they have, I guess, better equipment possibly for industrial fires and things of that nature. And our understanding is that if and when you get a battery energy storage, that group has been willing to work with the fire departments and possibly assist them in training and possibly even purchase of equipment that we use and things of that nature, so, we just need to keep them on board if at all possible. Because we've had quite not many around that even remember the issues that we've had, with the fire departments and stuff, but for the last, what year did they say they started, 2008, I think it was, that we switched over to Church Hill, and to my knowledge, for that, what is that, 15-year
There's never
period,
been an increase.
15-year period, they've not asked for any additional monies, and we've not had any issues. They've always been there, and on the spot, and, you know, if you're gonna maintain an industrial park, you gotta have fire protection, and they've done a great job, so we don't wanna lose them if we can help it.
Laundry work for the men, men go here.
Yeah, so
Hear
it's.
the word.
Well, we dug to the bottom of the file cabinet to find that contract. It was actually signed by Crockett Lee. That's how long ago it's been.
Yeah. It's been good, like I say, they've done a great job. They built that new facility down there. I mean, they're just a couple of miles from our property, so it's handy. Anyway, I just let you know, last month, the board approved the contracts, with Tenaska. And over the course of the last month, the attorneys have been back and forth getting all the legal work worked out on that, so we can sign those things off. That, if TVA will take that, that will go a long ways toward helping the county's tax problems. We also, I mentioned at the last meeting that several of us on this board were invited over to view the $15 million deal with NGL on and Bulls Gap. And you saw the announcement that the state sent out on the Vulcan Thermal announcement. I think it'll be a great addition to the park. We're waiting on building plans now to be approved by the Phipps Bend joint venture, and things are moving along on it well, and so we welcome them to Phipps Bend. We had an issue that was brought up last month about the grounds maintenance building and being a problem, and I know we had a couple of board members that stepped up and said they'd see what they could do. Patrick or Jeremy, you got all that worked out?
I mean, we kind of got a plan a little bit on what we need to do down there, just to divert the water. I mean, day's work would do it, wouldn't you say, Patrick? A day's work, we can get that diverted and just flowing, away from that building, because currently it's flowing into it. And it does flood when we see, which is low elevation, it's swampy ground anyway, but if you just drive down and look at the maintenance building, I mean, it sits in a hole, and we just need to get some ditching around the side. But yeah, we'll take care of that. That won't be no problem.
Sounds great. We appreciate the help. TCAT update, Mr. Johnson's not here today, but it's my understanding is we met with the state up there and with our state representative, and they agreed that things need to be done there at the school at Phipps Bend, and so my understanding is going forward.
Larry, I've talked to Charles, and they have had engineers down there doing the layouts and everything, so they are going at least to the planning stages from engineering to expand the building, so they are at least progressing on some of it.
And they've got an architectural drawing for the truck driving school for the new building they're going to do down there, and they may use it as a pilot program to do some at other places. And they are looking for an automatic truck. And then they're looking at all the other suggestions and are going to try and do as many as they can. So it was real positive.
It was very positive, and, you know, and it was a quick turnaround on that thing, so, I want to thank, our state representative Gary Hicks for that, setting that meeting up and helping us with that little project. Anybody from the Board of Education, do y'all have anything you want?
Not a whole lot for me. Seth might have more. The only thing I would update you on is we're looking to do bids for the Clinch, Cherokee, and volunteer CTE expansions probably mid-April for an open date. So hopefully we get some response on that. Got anything?
Rocking and rolling with work-based learning. I attended the Hawkins County Professionals Association meeting this month and presented to them about it. I think it opened a few opportunities up there at Phipps Bend site. We actually have our first placement at Mundette. Now we have a student working there second shift, and they're tickled to death to have him. So we're hoping that kind of snowballs and we'll get some more up there.
I didn't introduce everybody. I noticed Allison has joined us from the state and ECD department. We're glad to have the sheriff with us and Nancy with the chamber. And but you had a good turnout this morning at Hale Springs.
Yes, we did. Had a good meal too.
That's what I was going to say. That was one of them I wouldn't mind of attending was that breakfast. That would be great. Let's see. Let me call on the Allison, if you would. We've met this week with some exciting companies and things. What can you share with us without divulging too much?
Yes sir. Thank you all for having me. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Allison Woodward and I work with Lynn Tully here and our local partners with Networks representing and serving Hawkins County. So we've actually had a busy month. Rebecca and I, we met with Technoglass earlier this month. I've had calls with STA. Lynn and I, we were able to meet with Miyake this month. Ware Manufacturing, got in there. We spoke with Fibrix Filtration, who just got, they just bought HDK. So it's a lot of, I don't want to overuse the word exciting, but y'all are doing, Cooper Standard, met with them this month as well. I would say like Hawkins County's in a really good spot, just meeting with everybody, getting them connected with our tax team and in Nashville and making sure that everybody's looped in there. I've been speaking with Sam Dong as well in the Rogersville Park. So I think Rebecca, like we've hit everybody there and we're ticking them off the list and making sure everybody's getting taken care of and getting the resources they need. The big project, the one in which we cannot speak of, you know, I'm being funny about that, but no, it's going really well too. I know Clay can give a better update on that as I'm newer to that, but I'll pass it off to him. But if you have any questions for me or kind of what I do or how we serve Hawkins County, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You mentioned Technoglass, and I know we've had discussions with them. This board has approved the selling of those 7 acres in front of Technoglass, and we're negotiating with them on when they would start a 30,000 square foot building on that site, and we're working with both Pat and what's the other fellow? Dan.
Yeah.
Dan. We're working with them on that and we're getting the contracts and everything together because as imagine we're tying in a clawback on the sale of property like that to make sure that what they say they're gonna do, they're gonna do. Or we claw the property back.
Yep.
And so, we do that with all of these other companies that we deal with, to make sure that what they say and what they do are one and the same. So we have to work on that this month, too. I guess that leads us into Clay Walker with Networks. We've been meeting with him too, so
Well, Allison, never say Clay can explain it better.
Oh, you.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't give you credibility. Yeah, we're very excited about Project Volcano still. Again, it's been a long climb. Thank this board for your support and our incentive offer to them. And in fact, Michael Parker and I had a call just this morning with the CEO of the company, and haven't had a chance to update my analysis on it yet. It was the last thing I did before I left office. Just to hear what they were doing and vetting construction companies, things like that. And he was talking to us from his car as he was on his way to DC. Both the Department of Energy grant and loan, 2 programs they're looking into and have applied for, have critical dates in the next several days as to them moving on to those, and it all looks very good. We will really know at that point about next steps, but they have moved forward with their engineering and designing the plan, looking for people to build it, hoping for everything gets done properly, and they, if successful, breaking ground is the first quarter of next year. And I know, Jimmy, you and TVA have also been meeting and have progressed, and Richard, he could not express his gratitude towards y'all enough for what you've been doing with them. Lynn and I, along with the company's CEO and legal counsel, met with Commissioner McWhorter and Assistant Commissioner Borden on February 26th in Nashville, prior to the Day on the Hill, and made sure that the Commissioner and Assistant Commissioner knew this project inside out. And they did. Some of their deadlines at the state were running out, and so those have been renewed, just because of understanding the time of the federal programs. It is what it is, and it takes time. But everything is still moving forward. You know, every time we get off the phone, Michael's got another project to do, but he's taking good care of them. And Project Rents, which would be the project that would follow them, they're still hanging on a meeting. In fact, CEO of Volcano was going to be talking to Rents today, but everything they've shared with us, how they think the configuration will look of the 2 facilities. And if you look at it from an aerial, I mean, the Project Volcano is so big. I mean, Rents is a good, Larry's thinking it's a good-sized project, but you go, that's not even on the page. And you look at it, but we talk about 1 million square feet on the other facility. It's easy to get lost. Yeah, I mean, a week doesn't go by that we don't try to touch base with them, and it's a big project that doesn't come along very often, and we're excited to be a part of working on it. So, if you have any questions, I'm try to answer them.
Did you mention timing, milestones, kind of next steps?
Yeah, you know, with Easter weekend, I'm not sure, but the last day of this month is to where the DOE is supposed to let them know who's progressing of the people who apply for these projects, for the tax credit project and the loan program, not project, but program. So we could know, I mean, if we're going to find out on Easter Sunday, maybe, I don't know, but it's starting next week.
Yeah.
We should know if they're still in that. And I think in April, we will know so much more than we've known for, I don't know how many months we've been now really not knowing, but probably 6 months without knowing. But I think, I feel safe in saying in April, we'll have a lot of news for you. It all looks good. I mean, they've got lobbyists who specializes in these programs in DC, working with them. The chairman of their board is in DC now and has been meeting with all the decision makers. And again, the CEO is joining her this afternoon to have meetings. So I think April will be a big month for this project.
We've narrowed it down to the end of the line, either one way or the other, and so we appreciate the work that Networks has put into this, and it has been a complicated, long-running process in meeting with TVA, Houston Electric, all the folks at the state. I know you all were down there a couple of weeks ago with, you mentioned the DCD people. It's been quite a process. Hopefully come to a good solution for our benefit anyway. Along those same lines, you all approved the sale or agreement to extend a contract to Project Elixir for 5 acres. We've signed those contracts. We're waiting on the $10,000, and they're already reaching out to the gas company and the water company and talking about their requirements. So that project is looking good. We met this week with Project Follower with the state, and that's quite an impressive group there that's working with Eastman. And so we've got a lot of balls in there right now that we're juggling and trying to meet all the demands of it. And so things are moving along. As Allison mentioned, I guess Hawkins County may have more projects going than any county I know in this East Tennessee probably. Any board members have anything else? Like I said, we covered a lot of ground here, and any questions of anybody while we've got everybody together? We've got one last item. You know, it's now a judge, and so she had to, Amy Skelton had to step down as judge, and so we had, I asked you last month to submit resumes and people that you would be interested in serving on this board to take Amy's place. And so we sent, had Rebecca send out those 3 resumes. So if you would, you pass them, if you would check those off and send them back into Rebecca, and I'll let her tally up the votes, and we'll announce our recommendation. Now, the way this process works is we recommend a person to the industrial committee of the county commission.
I got it.
And then that's, they vote up or down, I guess that's before that.
then it goes to full commission.
Yeah, and it goes to full commission. And like I say, we had three really good names of excellent candidates, and we appreciate their willingness to serve. And like I say, if they don't get chosen this time, we'll keep them in mind for the next vacancy. It's probably not gonna be too long, so we'll see how that goes.
I thought just off the top, I thought that we had some really, really good applicants
We did.
this time. I mean, that was very, very, very good.
Very, very good.
Charles Johnson has got 7 and John Metz has got 3, so.
So we'll extend that on to the committee of the commission and hopefully, and like I say, as Jeremy mentioned, we had a couple of really good candidates there and the other two, and so I'll keep those in mind for future vacancies.
And this term is through June 30th of 2026.
Oh, yeah, so it's just replacing
Amy.
the existing.
Yeah.
So. Who else comes? Okay, we got me and Glenn.
Several.
We got several come up this year, so.
Patrick, Hawkey, Larry Elkins, Lynn Hutchins, Jimmy Sandlin is the end of this year.
So that's
Much.
pretty good group. Anyway, anybody else have anything? Like I say, Jason came in, we've been talking a lot to Jason here lately, various things, and he's been meeting with Project Volcano. You want to shed any words of wisdom if where you're at on that? Like I say, some of these things have to remain somewhat in a secure manner, but.
Yeah, we'll be happy to. Without divulging too much, like Clay said, we've been working through the RFP process with multiple general contractors on Project Volcano, and there's good interest in the project. The prospective tenant is obviously moving forward with the desire to develop the site and make it usable, and we've provided all the help that we can from the previous due diligence phases that the Industrial Development Board has completed over the last 5 or 6 years, and been providing that information as is requested to the general contractors, and actually met on site with a few of them over the last few days and looked the site over and discussed water, power, gas needs, and basically all the site infrastructure. So I think it's a great thing for the industrial park, great thing for Lot 17. It'll be a really nice industrial client for that big area down there. So yeah, like Clay said, it's moving along well, and I think in the next couple months things will really come into focus, and there'll be a lot of exciting information, so to speak.
Sounds good, appreciate it. I think we've got covered everything. Does anybody else have anything? I'm gonna go ahead and mention, we finished all the water projects there inside the park. We got the 750,000 gallon tank refurbished and all that ready to go, and so hopefully we can eliminate any major water outages now in the park. So we appreciate Suwanee Utility District and working with us on that. Anybody else have anything?
Well, you might want to mention that group that moved in the old, I can't think of who was there before. It's a storage, they got the new sign up.
Yeah,
If you hadn't been up there, it's a brand new sign up.
you talking about, White House?
Yeah.
Okay, we met with them this week, so, they're still, they've got applications in for state grants and things, and so, they're ready to go.
They got a big sign.
We just can't announce it, yet. But, and we also met, when we met with the folks, they're talking about, needing a 400,000 square foot building and about 20 acres to go with it. So we get through this first phase and then sit down and talk with them seriously about where they're going and their partners and everything. So they're a worldwide company. They got
They're serious.
plants, projects in many of the major cities. They mentioned about 9 different sites that they're in the United States. One of the biggest being Houston. So a lot going on.
Yeah. If you go up there, it's amazing how much activity is going on. You get there before 5 o'clock before the shift change.
Yeah.
I see a lot of cars.
Yeah.
The 311 shift parking lots aren't near as full, but they're everybody's busy. It's amazing what's happening.
Larry, is there any movement with the TRW double plank?
That, we mentioned that in our meeting this week with, if possibly something like that could be usable. And basically, Phoenix is, from our understanding, is rather difficult to deal with, and they bought in, and they bought out Frog Industries up that owned the old Kingsport Press building. And neither one of those buildings would suffice for what we were looking at because of the ceiling heights and stuff and various and sundry things. We have never, it looks to me like if I was Phoenix and I bought this building and I want to lease it or sell it or do something with it, that I would contact somebody.
Yeah.
They've not contacted us or the state or anybody else.
They also have the old Exide building in Bristol.
Yeah,
And we tried to show that facility, and just getting somebody from Phoenix on the phone is a major accomplishment.
I don't understand. I don't know how to do business. It's, and as you say, we didn't know when they merged TRW and the group that basically took control, they had their mind set on what they were going to do, and they did it without any word to anybody. And then when they sold the building, we were trying to stay in contact with the folks that we knew locally to, possibly let the state and networks and everybody be involved so we could possibly market that building. They never answered a phone call, didn't say please what to anybody, and the next thing we knew, here's Phoenix again. And so, in our experience, like I say, has not been that good with Phoenix. I'm not going anything out. I don't know who they are. They just, you see their signs on a lot of big old industrial buildings, but you get nowhere with them.
Where are they based, Larry? Phoenix, do you know?
Huh?
Where are they based? Do you know? No.
Yes, in the northern Midwest, I want to say.
That's what they do, is they swoop in and buy these buildings very inexpensively usually, and
Just sit on them.
And And they try to lease them out. I mean, they wanna lease them, but they've got their, they don't need any help. This is the best way I know to put it. I don't know where they're headquartered at. I looked them up one time to see what I could find out about them. When they first bought the TRW, then the next thing I know, Frog had sold. You know, we'd had a pretty good working relationship with Frog through the years. He was out of California, and being able to locate things there in the old Kingsport Fresh building. But and this company that we were talking to, was well aware of both those buildings. They've already gone and looked at them. And so they said it would not work what they have in mind. So. Anybody else have anything?
I just have one quick question, and it's really for Jason. With the tank done and the loop done inside the park, I'm sure you've done a hydraulic study on that. What kind of MGD are we looking at now inside that park if a potential aspect came and asked, you know?
Right now, you can get about 200,000 gallons a day into the park. If you had that demand, you could serve it. Anything in addition to that would require off-site improvements.
Okay.
Mainly the 12-inch transmission line that, you know, we've been looking at.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the goal, and I'm thinking, you know, if something else comes in, we talk to EDA, ARC, things like that, we get that infrastructure from first UD water plant all the way down there to be able to supply being today
Yeah.
if needed.
Yeah, I mean, I would think with this project, there's probably some money out there, you know, to
Correct.
continue along the lines of improving that line down 11W.
That's-
But to my understanding, Project Volcano does not have a huge water demand. I think it's 30 to 40,000 gallons a day, something like that.
Very sustainable with the current.
Correct, yeah.
It's a good question. Anybody else have anything? Again, I thank you all for showing up and showing support to Hawkins County and moving forward.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?